And you can speak to it. You can just log in and say, hey, today's May the 20th. What should I be doing? What should I be doing? I've built out about 100 lessons just on how economics and macroeconomics works. If you want to understand how the world of finance, how does banking function? If you want to know how to do savings, if you want to know how to carefully manage your crypto, combining it with your Forex trading, I'm not kidding, folks.
Talk to us a little bit about the AI, because I don't have time sometimes to go and watch 100 videos, even though I want to watch 100 of your videos. And it's probably one of the best platforms I've ever seen in this space. And I'm not just saying that. We've worked really hard on this deal, if you will, to get you over here. We didn't have to twist your arm because you were all about helping people. But how is that AI going to kind of really jumpstart and speed up the learning or curve for VYB individuals?
That's a really important and amazing question. So essentially, even let's say you did start going through the lessons, and I know I've built a ridiculous number of them, and each lesson has a video with it. So I've tried to make it as digestible as possible. Each one has like a 2 to 20-minute video, depending on the complexity. And I know that most of us learn best through videos, but not everybody. And that's why there's a text-based lesson as well. So when you go through, if you were to go through a lesson and you watch the video and then you read through the text, guess what? It's still possible that it might not click for you. It might not, because even though you've gone through the material, you might be wondering, well, because of your particular situation. And I'm not trying to say that anybody's not smart enough. I'm just saying, what if the lesson is good, but it's not directly related to your personal situation? That's where the AI comes in. You can specifically say to the AI, hey, I've just been learning about this particular crypto wallet or this particular DeFi trading fund where I'm able to make this passive income, but it doesn't quite work like this or that. How does it function for me personally? Or if I've got this particular wallet over here, or if I'm in that particular country, can you make that lesson personal for me? Or explain it to me like I'm 5 years old. Can you please take that lesson? Or actually, I want you to take the entire curriculum of that course because there's 100 lessons. Can you go through the entire curriculum of those 100 lessons there and distill it to me in the top 5 points? How does that sound to you, Megan, when you just get to say that?
This is how I would use your program. This is how I have used your program. And I've really enjoyed going through. Thank you for giving me access a long time ago. But I would go through it and say, AI, give me all the top 5 to 10 things that I'm going to learn in this particular course. So it's pulled out to me first. I don't like surprises, Barnaby. Tell me what it's about first. And so now I can go through, okay, these are the key points. So now when I go and read or watch, it's already standing out to me what's important. That's just, I'm an English teacher always. I always like to do that first. So I love that, Barnaby, that your AI will allow us to kind of like do a little cheating first so that we can understand before we really truly understand.
Absolutely. And there's so many more levels that AI is coming out. Like what I've got in the wings is so much more. Did you know that now you can actually make, it's going to sound a bit strange, but a digital twin of yourself? Do I already have built an AI version of Barnaby that looks like and talks identically to myself that you can actually speak to? You can speak to or type to.
So even though you're trained on my content, do you make mistakes? And what do you do if that happens?
If I make a mistake about you, it's often because I misinterpreted the information you gave me, or I don't have the full context of your question. And I see mistakes as learning opportunities. When I get something wrong, I rely on your feedback to correct my understanding.
So let's change tacks a little bit. What about my LinkedIn page? Could you give me some advice on that?
Well, I have gotten a chance to take a look at your page as an image of it was entered into my GPT. I think your current photo nails it, but you could strengthen your LinkedIn page by spicing up your banner with imagery that screams innovation, like your books or podcast logos, and update your profile with the latest projects for a dynamic appeal and enrich your activity section with AI and entrepreneurship insights to solidify your industry presence. Last thing, enhance your digital introduction by adding personal flair to your headline and summary, possibly with investing in the future of technology and humanity. What do you think?
But maybe, you see, the thing is, you have to strike while the iron is hot. And I'm here to tell you, I don't mean to kind of like be any alarmist, but this AI that Megan was talking about, every single one of these incredible tech tools is a two-edged sword. Folks, you know that. It's a two-edged sword. What does that mean? It means it's here to cut through all the difficulties for you. It will slice through and clear the path so that you can march on through. But guess what? It's also a scythe that can come and cut you down. What do I mean by that? I mean that there is the possibility and even the likelihood that AI is coming for a lot of people's jobs. I'm sorry to say that, but it's just, even in my own business, I've been able to scale so rapidly with building everything thanks to AI. In the past, in the truth of the matter, I had to hire people. I had to hire so many more people to do everything, to do the programming, to do the logos, to do the videos, to do build out websites. I had to hire people to help me. But now I can actually, I've got like, 10 AI bots. It's like that. And you want to learn these skills. I'm not kidding, folks. There is a seismic shift change in wealth that is happening right now. In this decade right now, the 2020s, there is nothing else ever happening like this. You want to be prepped. You need to get your family in order for the 2030s, which is less than 5 years away, folks. You got to just make this work. I love it. I love it. I'm working very hard because I get the seismic shift change that is about to happen. And I feel for all of you. I feel for people around the world. And if we want to see the world that we imagine as possible, where everybody's free, I truly believe that.
How does the sponsor of the person benefit, right? So we got to cut a lot of people in on the deals. So when people, Barnaby, are like, why is it taking so long? They don't know what we've been doing. And I want to really quickly share this because you have the same platform, banking hub, if you will. Ours is called VYB, VYBUcks Hub Portal, which, can you real quick speak on that, on how powerful that is? Because I know some of our people don't know how to use crypto. They don't know how to use wallets. They're struggling to even do the basics. That's why they're going to take your classes. But how powerful is that system that we have going to be, because you have the same payment portal system that VYB has?
It is beyond imaginingly powerful. It's so powerful, we can't even go through all the details right now. Not because we don't have time, but because it's almost like too powerful to speak about. So I'm going to say just a few things about it. Basically, whatever you can imagine, if you were to write your little cheat list of your ultimate financial hub of money, of dollars, of euros, of currencies, and crypto, and Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and XRP, and the stable coins, with a crypto spendable card, all of that in one platform, you're going to have so many opportunities with so many incredible teachers here. And you're going to vibe with certain ones. And that's going to be beautiful to see. And you're going to earn in this incredible hub of finance where you'll be able to send the funds back to your bank account. You'll be able to switch in and out of crypto. Just let this sink in as I'm saying it, like for real, like, wow, you'll be able to exchange it and move it into Bitcoin, into Ethereum. You'll be able to send it to whatever other bank accounts you want in the world. And most extraordinarily, and this is pretty geeky, pretty techie, but the crypto wallet side of it inside there is actually decentralized. You hold the private keys. The world has not seen anything like this. I'm not kidding when I say this. This is extraordinarily, this is like Coinbase and Binance, the biggest exchanges. They are centralized. That means when you put your crypto with them, it's actually with them and they might collapse. There's been some huge exchanges that have collapsed and very sadly, people lost their money, their crypto, they lost it. Some of them lost vast amounts. It's tragic. And so you need to learn how to keep your crypto, how to keep your money safe. Inside this platform, the private keys, that's like the password behind the wallet. They stay with you. Suffice to say, this is way more powerful than even PayPal. Even some of these other payment platforms like Stripe, if you know what I'm talking about. Really, it takes a minute for you to digest all of this. But you don't have just today or this week. But suffice, you just need to know that when the commissions come to you into this platform, which will be coming, you'll be able to manage that to a degree that you have not been able to before. And that's why all this education will become most critical, because you'll actually discover through these platforms here how much easier it's going to be for you to generate the money. The next step is about you keeping it and magnifying it into generational wealth. And that's why we are all here for you for the long term, for this whole decade, to ride this with you until we get to the 2030s and even beyond. Let's go there. Megan, back over to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited. And I keep telling people, I don't think they really know what's getting ready to happen. And this is why I know that they don't know, because I'm in a space where I'm like, what's next, Lord? The next day, it's like, what's next, God? What's next, Lord? And the overflow is coming. We haven't even touched on, outside of the legacy network and the fast start bonuses and the check matches. They don't even understand the ecosystem allows them to earn by creating courses, by taking what they've learned and sharing it with the world.
For those of you that know, I still own one of my Bored Apes. And so very happy about that particular NFT. But that NFT was one that it did very well. One of those projects literally could have cost you about $1,200. And they went up as high as $400,000 each. And so on top of that, being able to get some of the airdrops that you were able to claim for that particular NFT, whether it was just some free ape tokens, which ended up being equivalent to about $200,000 worth of free airdrop money. And those are things that we're going to literally be covering on some of the crypto calls that I do. The one thing about crypto is that normally, again, not all the time, but if you're buying crypto on the exchange, you buying from me. I'm sorry to tell you, you're buying from me, and I've had it for 3 to 6 months before you're buying it. And that's the power of DeFi and learning those things of being able to buy crypto early on. But we'll cover those things on our trainings to make sure you guys are ahead of the game, making sure you know what you're doing. That's the most important. And we'll cover as far as trying to protect you to make sure you're not getting scammed, because it will do you no good whether you're taking crypto out in this business as your payment method to give it away to the scammers. So we're going to try to keep you guys secure of showing you, okay, this is what you should be doing with your wallets as far as never sharing your seed phrases and stuff like that. We'll cover those on the training. And if there's any other things, or if there's new coins, I'm always looking at AI coins. There's literally a lot of AI coins that are out there right now that I've been investing in that are doing like 50 to 100x. Like, boom, that they're that good.
Miss Teaila, what are you going to be doing? Oh, before I pass it to Barnaby, what are you going to be doing over here? And then you spoke about your daughter, because she is over here as well. I met you, for those of you guys who don't know, I met Miss Teaila and her family years ago, back in, I think, 2021 or so. And I was blown away. I got to learn about the metaverse and all types of things through you. And your daughter was phenomenal. I mean, just getting out of school. And then I got a chance to work with you on another project that did millions of dollars. And then I got a chance to go and work with you on another project that did millions of dollars. And you guys were the best of the best. I mean,
thank you.
That company went to the next level because your team was a part of it. And now that entire team is now over here in VYB. So can you tell me a little bit about what you're going to be teaching and what your daughter, because I'm sure we'll hear from her at some point too, what your daughter is going to be teaching over here?
My whole goal is I don't want to leave anyone behind. And why I say that is that I think many people in our community, especially people that look like me in my community, everyone thinks it's a scam. And so it's important to me to educate so that you have an understanding as far as how you're going to secure your crypto, how you're going to make the money in crypto, and how you're going to sell your crypto, and then how can you use the money that you make from crypto. So literally like this. So if you had to go do this by yourself, what would you do? How would you do it? And so sometimes even on some of the trainings in some of your back office, you'll have like a booklet. So if I put out a call and say, hey, listen, these are coins that I'm looking at as I'm teaching on there. Here's the steps of how you're going to go do it. So if I'm giving you a coin that I may be looking on, like a juke.ag site, that's a site that you can connect your wallet to. I'll literally give you a step-by-step guide of like, here, go click here, add the contract here. This is how you're going to buy it. And so those are things that I'll be teaching here. My daughter will definitely be on teaching stuff in regards to Forex. Both of my kids are I'm not fluent in Spanish, but both of my kids can read, write, and speak Spanish. I love my baby. I don't want to brag on my baby, but my baby.
You better brag on your baby.
I'm just saying, I'm a proud mama.
Listen, if I'm bragging on your family and your kids, I'm gonna let you brag on them too. So, we're excited to have Majesty. And I know, you get so excited, but you had all of us years ago excited because I hadn't really known a lot about NFTs. I didn't understand the metaverse. You showed me where Snoop Dogg had a $2 million virtual property. And that's where VYB is going to eventually go. Like, we're already looking at having our own metaverse where we can have our own events inside of a virtual space. Because
the crazy part about it is you can sell stuff in there. It's like, and you don't even have to rent the building. So it's
and that's exactly what's going to happen. So we're excited to have Majesty because she is fluent in Spanish. She does beginning. She works with beginners as well. So we appreciate bringing you guys on, even though you're advanced. We appreciate bringing you on to take me and the other beginners and the other non-techie people over here so that we have an opportunity to learn from beginning to end. And you also have a crypto academy that's going to be over here. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
So we're excited about your crypto academy. And that's why I was telling people we actually have 2 crypto academies that we're going to have over here. And we have a Forex pod. So we have we're Forex heavy. We have a lot of Forex educators. We have a crypto pod. So I'm sure you and Barnaby will be working together closely as well with our crypto pod, our crypto academies. Then we have a professional performance mindset development team pod where we're going to hear from them later on this week as well. But I'm just excited to have you aboard because I know you were about to leave the country with your boo. And I know you're going to be all over the place. And I'm just excited that you said one more time, I'll do it with you guys one more time. You guys are in a class of your own. So I don't even know how I got you or Reagan or Andre got you guys to come over here by the grace of God.
Because it's a good thing. That's the only reason why I'm here. If it was bad, I would not be here.
I know. You know what? I know it. So it is by the grace of God that we are doing great business.
But maybe just going back a little bit, just so you have some context on just what a deep geek I really am. So I've been involved in tech as an entrepreneur actually since the early mid-90s. Yeah, so I go all the way back. So I've been through about 4 or 5 waves of technology across this whole last 33 years. And it sounds like forever, but that's how much I love this space. And I could see even before the internet arrived that one day my vision, my goal was to go and live on a beach on some, tropical island and work off my laptop. How many of you would just love to do that? And so, you know how life goes? That was in my early 20s. I was 21 when I saw that, and it was like 93. That was before the internet even actually arrived. And so I could see what was coming because of my deep love of sci-fi as growing up as a teen in the 80s. But it took a while because I had a family then. I had my daughter came along in 95, just as the internet came along. And I was basically the first web design firm in all of Australia. And so I had the media coming over all the time. That suffices just to show you how far this goes back for me. And obviously then I started traveling the world and running events. I would teach thousands of people after social media started. And so I'd be traveling and doing tours all across the States, coming from Australia and all of that. But my vision was always about how to empower people, how to show all of you how to actually use tech without having to be a techie, and how to have freedom, because that's really what my passion is how to show you how to have freedom. And I feel very blessed that by the end of 2012, when my daughter finished high school, that's when I just took off and lived my dream. The world is going to be tokenized. You're going to see even all the NASDAQ, all the stock market, they're all going to become tokens, folks. It's not only Bitcoin. Bitcoin led the way, okay? And what we're going to see is we're going to see this massive wealth transfer move from traditional assets directly into tokenized assets. And you are at the right place at the right time. This is an incredible opportunity. And that's why essentially across the whole last 6 months, I've been delighted and thrilled to be working with Megan in the background.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, anybody can go.
My big aha moment was when I first got started and I started buying the NBA Top Shot cards, which are digital cards. And when I opened up a pack of digital cards and they started being worth $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, that was how I got my family in figure it out as far as you need to be in crypto. I literally had been trying to get them to get into crypto for a long period of time or to buy NFTs. And they were like, well, no, I don't have time. So I literally put all of them on a Zoom call, opened up packs of digital cards, like right them in front of them. Like, okay, I just opened up, there's a LeBron card. Went to the amount of how much this one's worth. Oh, this one's worth $10,000, but I only paid $29 for the pack of cards for all the cards that was in there. So my big aha moment was when I was able to get my family finally into crypto, because again, I don't need to leave anybody behind. And first of all, and then it also helps me to not have to like say, who need money? It's like, we all need money. Let me show you how we all gonna make the money together. That was my great aha moment right there.
Absolutely. You know what?
Amazing.
Like that's why my whole family's over here too. Cause I'm like, listen, you guys need to be over here learning like I'm going to learn, so everybody can fund their own hopes and dreams.
Fund it. I'm not the loan. It's not kid family banking system.
Absolutely.
Well, I have a lot of fun in my life. Everything is work and play. But in 2011, I was researching Bitcoin when it was 20 cents. When it was 20 cents.
Geez.
Okay. I was looking at Bitcoin. I was one of those people in Australia. Okay. So that's can you imagine the weight of that? And just to fill in what that was like in 2011, the lens I looked at it was, there's no on and off ramps. There's no, you can't actually buy it. You can't use this for exchanges. There's no way to actually use this to buy products. And so every now and then I'd hear a bit about Bitcoin. I met a few people and it was always in and out of the news, and it was to do with the Silk Road, and people were sort of trashing on it. They were sort of saying bad stuff. Okay. Back in those days, these are the early days. And so again, I was like, I don't think I want to touch that. Can you imagine? Anyway,
20 cents. I thought I was doing good at 900. And I said, because someone asked me about at 900, I was like, I'm not buying that. Look, I can't do nothing with that thing. But man, had I just
bought basically it was in 2016. It was in 2016. I had a friend, and he was just one of these digital friends. Okay. His name is Bushido. A lot of people I know who's completely changed my whole life. I have never met them. I have never seen them. I have never even spoken to them. Not once. And this was one of those characters. And somehow we just built this connection online. And one day, just randomly, it was, middle to the Q3 of 2016. He said, I'm doing this new business. I don't know why I asked him. I just said, what's that? He said, I'm crypto mining. I said, yeah. Like, what do you mean? Like Bitcoin? And he said, yeah, I'm mining Bitcoin and Ethereum. I said, what's that? He said, Ethereum came out last year. I said, yeah, I was outside the launch of that in New York. I was outside the launch of that. This is freaking insane. Okay. And when he said to me, I said, all I said to him was, that's cool. He said, no, man, that ain't cool. That's all there freaking is.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I said, he said, can you please sit up? I sat up. He said, drop everything.
And you're done.
And just, please, Barnaby, just do this.
Yeah.
And it was like a command that came through to me. And it was $600. And the first exchange I went to, I wired in the 600 to try to buy my first Bitcoin, and they just stole it. And it's a major exchange. Man, can you just believe? And then I was it was so darn hard to even buy any. Anyway, that's my story. Hope that was
oh my gosh. I'm having so much fun over here sitting in my car listening. This is like that. Listening to these stories, and I know Teaila, it was $200 when I was exposed to it, but I was a single parent, just got divorced. I was like, I don't even have 2 cents. And you want me to spend $200 on some virtual nothing vanishing money? Like, no. And then I was in a network marketing company, and it was at $3,000. This was not too long ago. This was 2019.
Right.
And I was making really good money. This is the terrible part.
Just a couple of those.
I was making really great money.
I could have bought 105,000. Was it 106,000 today?
Yeah, one.
Just 106,000 for 20 cents each, just $106,000
I
each.
know. It's, and I kick myself because I didn't buy it when it was $200. I didn't buy it when it was 3,000. In that same year that I didn't buy it at 3,000, it shot up to 10,000. Funny story. I was working with a young trader who traded binary, and he was only 20 years old, and we bought a program from him, but he would only take crypto as the payment. He's like, nope, I'm not taking anything but Bitcoin. So we dropped 10 grand and bought his program for 10 grand in Bitcoin. Ugh.
So you really paid him $105,000 for the course.
I know I did.
Imagine. I got another quick story just to help reframe it for everybody. Basically, guess you might hear this guy in the news quite a bit, especially if you get into crypto. Michael Saylor. He runs strategies that used to be just recently called micro strategies. Okay, so if you're not familiar, look this guy up. And he has a tweet back from 2013 where he says something like, Bitcoin is rat poison or stupid, don't go anywhere near it. In 2013, he said something very bad about Bitcoin. He is now almost pretty much the largest holder of a person with over 500,000 Bitcoin.
Oh my gosh.
Average price point, he's buying them through his fund at 67,000 each. That's the average price of his whole fund. And he changed his strategy and changed his tune in either 2020 or 2021. So we're saying about 4 years ago, he switched from being the biggest anti-Bitcoin person and pivoted his whole company just 4 years ago. And he found this incredible, crazy loophole in the US financial system that enables him. It's a glitch. It's a money loop. He can basically buy an endless supply of freaking Bitcoin. Just saying. So he started that 4 years ago at 67,000 on average per coin, and he's just stacking them, and he ain't stopping. He wants to buy
not at all.
Bitcoin.
Not at all.
What's his name?
Like for what? It's like for what? Well, I mean, especially with the way the U.S. is going, it's like being more crypto friendly. It's like, and I always tell people this because I remember teaching very early on, and everyone was like, "Well, it's a scam. It's a scam. The banks won't let you do it." I was like, "I don't care if my bank don't let me do it. I'm still gonna buy some crypto." Because literally banks were telling you they would flag your card and you could not buy crypto because it was like the biggest scam. To come find out that they're all going to probably have their own coin and they're all doing this blockchain stuff. So no.
We are in a currency war. I'm sorry to say it like this, folks. We're in a currency war, and the US dollar is no longer the reserve currency. Wake up. It's no longer. There is a war going on, and Bitcoin is on the rise. And Bitcoin's not the only one. No. There is a multi-currency, and you need to figure out, you need to wake up and get smart and figure out how to play this game. And I guess I get it. I'm sorry. I'm just the messenger. I am sorry, everybody.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I wish it wasn't like this. I wish you didn't have to figure out. It used to be simpler. It ain't simple anymore. Right. You've got to get deal. And so these tokens, guess what? Any of us, I issue tokens. I've launched my own tokens. I'm about to launch the next CFI token. It's going to make $1 billion. Me. Out of nowhere. You can do this. You can do this. This is crazy town. But guess what? One more final piece on this. Do you know that the US, the almighty US, when it was founded by the founding fathers back about 250 years ago, did you know that there were multiple currencies at the beginning that were competing? The US was founded and grew because of competitive currencies. It actually is great for everybody. It lifts competition, helps rise the integrity.
The crazy part what I love about crypto is that I could send Megan $1 million and nobody could tell me I couldn't. I just have to have her address, and we have to, obviously we're gonna verify it a couple of times. I'm like, does it end and start at the beginning here, and does it end with this number? You're gonna do all those clarifications.
Well, listen, Teaila, you can do that if you want. I have my wallet address if you. We'll talk after this call. But anyways, go ahead. I'm listening.
Let's test it up. Let's test it.
I might not send it back.
Just Teaila, riffing on what you were just saying just there about the whole, that also reminds me of one of the key pieces that I totally missed. And it dovetails in with that you think you have to buy a whole one of this. Yeah. The other one is that there's a limited supply. That was the missing piece for me. Back in 2011, guess what? All it would have taken, one conversation at the time. If I just somehow figured this out, or somebody just told me in 2 minutes, do you realize that there's a limited supply of 21 million of these tokens, and they're currently only 20 cents, and they can't be stopped. The trading can't be managed. You can't control just that piece of information, just that one thing alone. So, and inside of that as well, you don't need to buy a whole one. So this combination of learning, oh, hang on, you can own a 0.0001 and there's a limited supply, while the other big token, the US dollar token, it's got an unlimited supply and it's dropping in value every year.
And the banks can you 0.000001 for your money. Not here. I know I have to have it there to pay bills or whatever, but nah, we good. We gonna go. We good over here.
Hey guys, put a 1 in the chat if you are loving this podcast style. First Token Tuesday. I am loving it. How many of you guys really would love to be in their classes, asking them questions, listening to them teach from start to finish? And listen, and people told us VYB is a scam and we don't have any real products. What? I'm like, okay, I know who my friends are.
Yeah.
I know who my friends are. I know
do
what
some big things over here. We're gonna do some big things. Watch.
We really are. Like, and this was me, Teaila and Barnaby. I was learning some of these things, but then I made the mistake of teaching it in a public high school. And then I became the black sheep. And then they're like, nah, you gotta go. You can't be blowing up the apple cart in here and teaching stuff that's not in the curriculum. My department chair, can you just stick to the curriculum? I'm like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Can we
all
learn?
My nieces and nephew will know crypto. It's like, I'm sorry not to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
Even I think about with our kids, because again, all my nieces and nephew, when we were talking about games, I know Barnaby, you said something about you did games and stuff. I literally made them play like crypto type games to where they earn crypto. So if your kids are like playing games, you need to be figuring out which crypto game can they play to earn some crypto, to earn some money. And I would tell my niece and nephew, like, okay, I'm good with you playing a game, but ain't not buying no more $20 whatever for such and such. We're gonna go over here and figure out how you're gonna create a game to where people can pay you to get the game, for the game every time they pay it, and they're gonna pay you for all the NFTs that you're gonna create. And the crazy thing about NFTs, I had one niece who literally created an NFT, and it's not like if I sold it to Barnaby one time, okay, I sell it to him for $500. I become big. He sells it for $1,000. Guess what? Pay me my royalties over here. And it can sell like 10 times in a day. And every time it sells, I don't care if it goes up or if it goes down, I'm getting money. So I'm waking up to money. And so that's how I started teaching my nieces and nephews of saying, hey, you know what? Listen, these games, these Xbox game, I'm cool with that, but you can have a little bit of time with that. But we're about to build some big things over here to where people are going to pay you some money to play your game, to pay you some money to get your NFT, to pay you some money to buy the best sword or to buy the best clothing. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do in this space. And if you are an artist, I know I'm not supposed to keep talking, but I'm just hyped right now. If you are an artist or somebody like that, you need to be figuring out how to do NFTs. I've paid thousands of dollars for NFTs for art because, again, it's about the numbers. If there's 10 of them available, if there's a 1 of 1, guess what? I'm trying to buy the 101 because guess what? If you become big and I pay you $1,000 for it and I can now sell it for 10,000, you don't care if I sell it for 10,000 because if you have an art place and you sell your art, it's like you're done. But when you're doing the NFT thing, it's like you sell your digital art. One, you don't have to ship it. You don't got to store it. You sell your digital art, it sells for $10,000. They're going to send you that $1,000. It's the same day it sells for $50,000. They're going to send you that 10%. They're going to send you that $1,500. You've made money continuous for the rest of your life. That because it's on the blockchain, you will make money for the rest of your life anytime that NFT sells. So sorry, that I just had to go up.
No, and you know what? And that's what VYB isn't trying to be. That's what we are. I didn't want to leave my friends behind either because I met you and your family, Teaila. I met James Wiggins. I met Barnaby. I stayed in a $40 million house that wasn't mine though. So I'm excited for his $40 million house and he has $1 billion. But I wanted the knowledge. I wanted to know, okay, where do I start? Because sometimes you can get overwhelmed when you meet individuals like you guys and I'm so excited, but then I'm like, okay, what do I do now? So what do people do now? Like they've met you. You cannot go back inside of this hole, you know what I mean? You're out of the box, you
You're out the
two.
box. Yeah,
So
I can't
so
go back.
what would you encourage our Vibe community to do with this knowledge that you're giving them today with the Vibe Vault? Because you guys live in the vault, right? But you're also going to live in Vibe Global. You guys are going to have your own courses alongside of them inside of Vibe Global. We're going to also get to the point where you guys may be doing, some other teaching inside of here as we go to phase 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 35 of Vibe. But how would you suggest that what do you suggest that people do now that you guys are out of the box and they've learned a little bit about you?
Make your commissions and put those in. Let part of your commission, what, maybe 10% of it, 20%, that can be your capital to test out. Anyway, those are just some of my tips. So there's a lot to reading charts. And as you go through Vibe and learn and study across the different markets, maybe you're going to get into Forex, maybe you're going to get into crypto, just getting that one skill. I'm telling you.
A chart is a chart.
And actually in life, if I was going to talk to a 16-year-old kid, to be quite honest, and they said, what's two of the most important skills for me to make money in this world? Learning how to sell and learning to read charts. Sorry, folks, just those two skills.
That's why I think it's important to put the pictures and things like that for some people. Because I like to see visual. I'm a visual person. So I think it's important for people who are baby boomers. Again, I know you may not be tech savvy. You can still do this. It's not, once you take the time to learn it, you know it. And there's no guarantee. I always tell people now, there's no guarantee that Social Security is going to be around. There's no guarantee that a lot of these things that we thought might be here are still going to be here. They might not be here. And so for me, I'm getting to a point like, well, I don't want to depend on nothing. It's like, I got to depend on what is Teaila going to do? If there's nothing else here, what do I have for me and my family? What do I have left for my great grandkids? What crypto am I buying like right now? Am I buying a little bit of BTC for my great? Yeah, they got a little bit over there. So when it gets to them, we all going to be good. And so I think it's important right now of what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
Gold, for example. Everybody, gold's been around forever. And maybe you feel more comfortable with gold. Did you know that gold has been tokenized? Did you know that it's one of the top trading digital assets?
My dad, to know my dad was to love my dad, because he just blunt in your face. And my dad had gold and silver coins, a couple $1,000s worth, and he would always say, well, Meg, I have don't forget the safe code, because my gold and silver coins are here. And I'm like, Dad, I don't want to talk about that. You're going to live forever. I don't want to talk about you not being here. No, you got to know. So when I saw my dad the last time, he was on our call. And then I got a chance to divert. I was in St. Louis, with the Zia, and we had a great time. And I'm like, I'm going to see my dad. It snowed really bad, but I'm like, I'm going to see my dad. So I was there with my dad, and we always vibe out, listen to music. And my dad's like, listen, don't forget, if something happens to me, my gold coins. I'm like, Dad, I'm not listening. Right. I got it though, Dad. I got the code. He's like, you're going to forget. He kept saying, you're going to forget. You're going to forget the code. I'm like, I'm not going to forget the code, Dad. He's like, you're going to forget. And then when my dad passed, it was shocking. And I was like, I forgot the freaking code. I get to my dad's house to clean out his house, and he left the safe open for me. I'm like,
oh, wow.
He already knew I was
He
going to
already knew you were going to forget.
He knew I was going to forget. And, he had his gold and his silver coins. And he's like, you never know. You need to hang on to these. And, so I just kind of had to laugh, because my dad, always makes you laugh. And I'm like, gosh darn it. He knew I was going to forget. And he popped the safe open for me. And there was this gold coin. So, I am so excited for the two of you. And this is just the beginning. This is our first, the team's first experience of me being able to bring you guys aboard, and Andre and Reagan are so excited for you guys to be here. And I kept telling people, I'm like, just wait. You don't know who our friends are. I'm like, some of our friends have made millions and millions of dollars. Some of our friends are going to be in the billionaire status. I'm going to stay connected to them. And we're not gatekeepers. So we are going to share you guys with the VYB community. Where do you see this thing going? How do you see this could be beneficial for the VYB family, themselves and their family?
It's around DeFi, decentralized finance, which is about the programming of money. And it does start to sound very complex. And so part of my big role is to break that down and make it simple. Why did I pick that out of, the dozens of different crypto mechanisms and coins and strategies? Because sadly, with trading, which is where people first typically go, sadly, the stats show 90% of traders lose money. I just know that it's so emotional for people when they get in and try to get out. It's very hard, and people have got jobs and they're busy. So I'm just really passionate about showing people how to have a passive income yield where they don't have to go and, sell the farm. You don't have to take everything you got. No. And you can even start with small. You can just test it even with $100 and just figure it out and like start to play with that. That's a very different strategy, let's say, to the NFT strategy or the trading strategy, or there's so many strategies here. So I'm just really, I like to show you each of them, and for you could go test them out. You got the whole year here. Come and be here for a year and try them out. But what I've discovered is what I like doing is passive yield that takes 5 minutes a day. Over to you guys.
I love it. I mean, at $100 to $200 a day, I was in a network marketing company making $50 a day. And when I hit 100 a day, there was something about having 3,000 extra dollars coming to me every single month. I just didn't know what to do with it. Right. So now this time when we're rolling in the dough, I'm going to know exactly what to do with my money because I went and got the best of the best. I believe on this planet, I believe you guys are the best of the best at what you do, and put you in one place called VYB where everyone can afford to learn. But more importantly, people they can't afford not to do this, right? $249 a month to come over here, and you two are you're a fraction, but a huge part of how we're going to grow over here. So I just want to say thank you so very much, and believing one more time. Thank you and love for loving the people and building this grassroots opportunity. I will be in every single one of you guys' classes. That's why we record them as well, because if I can't be sitting right there, because I'm doing corporate-y stuff, I'm going to be watching those recordings. But my goal is to be in every person's class. And guys, we're not going to overwhelm you with classes. We're going to have, where Teaila was once teaching 4 and 5 classes a day. And we're not going to do that because we have a lot of educators. We want to make sure that we give you guys, enough that you can handle. But note takers are the money makers, guys. So get a notebook and label it with Barnaby's name. Get another notebook and put Miss Teaila's name on another notebook, and take notes and learn. This is a learning platform. So when someone says, well, VYB, what if I lose my money? VYB is a scam. What? You're coming over here to learn how to grow your income, right? We're not coming over here just to recruit and do network marketing. We're coming over here to understand how money works, and then recruiting and us paying you is a byproduct, and then take that money and do what people tell you to do, right? Or suggest to do. We're not financial advisors, but you guys have what I want. So I'm just trying to be like you when I grow up. Well, I love you guys with all my heart. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate your time. I do not take it lightly. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for listening in. And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. We have Wealth Wednesday. We're going to learn more. We're going to meet new people inside of the vault. Hopefully you guys got something out of it, because I know I did. So peace and blessings. And we'll see you guys at the top.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.